Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome to Anno 117, Pax Romana. This is my first time playing an Anno game, though I have been wanting to check out the last one, Anno 1800, for a while now. The series is focused on city building and economic management, but also has a warfare component. Out of the games we played on the channel, I'd say Tropico and Manor Lords are the ones most similar. Before we get started, I should disclose that I was given early access and a free copy of the game by Ubisoft. Now on my channel you should always assume that to be the case, but Ubisoft did request that I disclose this. And keep in mind that this is an early look at the game, as it's not releasing until next month on November 13th. Alright, so let's go and get started with a new game. There are the two different game modes. You can play the campaign, or you can just do the endless, which is, the open world without any limits. We're going to go ahead and do the story mode since, from my understanding, again I haven't played one of these games before, I think the story component is a major part of this series. One of the things that kind of makes it unique.
Good luck, little brother.
You don't often see that in these in this genre of games. We do have two different characters we can play as, and there is a lot of voice acting, like little cutscenes. So which character you pick would actually play quite a role, a bit more than you would expect in a game like this. We're going to play as Marcus here. And we won't be playing co-op, of course.
Things have been a little up and down. Not long ago, I built a city. Now, if the sea won't take me, it'll be the trousered savages to come. Unless I find courage to live with the Tempest. My name is Marcus Naucratius, and I'm an imposter. In the 40th year of Pax, I was summoned to Latium, province of long shadows. Herbs once decadent, made dust by fiery Occuses. I, of all people, was to oversee the restorations. When emperors call, we mortals answer.
From the land of pyramids, Marcus Naucratius Nonus, our glorious governor! We stand at the edge of history, witnessing the...
Salwe?
Marshana's welcome. Meet my wife.
Marcus, it's Marcus. What a pleasure to meet you at last. Now the ritual can begin.
Ritual?
The ground beneath every new city is blessed, and this city bears the name of an empress. Titi Naucratii, filium Marcum hac terra praese, constituo ut eam in Juliano nomine ad eternitatem poste. It is done. This is where I leave you to your very important work.
But, Imperator, I...
Good luck, Marconius! Wale, wale!
Welcome to Juliana, Ere. I was asked to take care of things, knowing the affairs of the city as I do.
Oh, I thought I was the governor.
I exist only to serve. Emperor Lucius asked you be eased in slowly.
Slowly sounds good. But... what's our aim?
Rome's elite hold a rosy memory of the city of Ambrosia, destroyed in the eruption years ago. Building the new city of Juliana and rejuvenating this once great province will certainly win Emperor Lucius their favor.
Surely support for him is unanimous after such a long and glorious reign. I mean, the man gave us Pax.
Normally, yes. However, he recently informed the Senate of his plan to make Empress Julia Rome's first empress and his effective heir.
A ruling empress? I'd be surprised if they ever agreed to that.
We should begin, Ere?
Yes, of course. Lead on.
Alright, so after that little cutscene explanation of where we're starting in the story here, we are into the game on our
is vital to the
first island. Just taking a look at it. It's a very beautiful game, by the way. You guys know I'm always a sucker for beautiful strategy games. Of course, it's about to be nighttime here. We can change back to daytime, but the night looks nice, even if would be preferring to start this out in the day. But we only start with the one building here, the trading post, and we can go ahead and pause this so we're not just losing money, since we don't really have much of an economy at the moment. Alright, so we're going to start with a main street, because I'm nice and boring like that, guys. So we need to connect the trading post to our road network anyways. We want this to be nice and straight. And so we'll just have it go all the way up, like so. We do start with a good amount of money, so I'm not too worried about spending it at the moment. And then there's a few things we're going to need to get going immediately here. We need a woodcutter and a sawmill, because we do not start out with a lot of timber. We'll fly right through that. So we're going to want to start with those, and let's just get this road constructed first. Going over here, because we're going to place it, I don't know, somewhere in this area. Let's figure out where we want to place it first before I get the roads going. So we're going to start with this woodcutter, and we want it to have, you know, at least the 80. I don't know if you get any bonuses from having more. I mean, you'd think so, but I mean, 100% efficiency is 100% efficiency, so I don't think it really matters. So we'll just place it right here. That would be nice to have it right on that road network. So you know what, let's put it right here. We'll go ahead and get the road going out a bit more here. Alright, so that looks good. We're at 81 now, since I think we lost a tree right there. So now we need to get the sawmill, and we're just going to place it right next to it. We can rotate these. Now if we want it to be pointing a certain direction, which I like this one here. Alright, so that looks good. We've got both those constructed. Gotta unpause it.
And sawmills.
So updates what we need to do here. It says use a street to connect the timber production to your trading post. Should already be connected, but I think we might need, yeah, I think we need to extend this road just a little bit. There we go, beautiful.
We can attract local freedmen by building housing.
Alright, so now we need to get some residents going. And what we're going to do is we're going to have our production stuff on this side here, mainly because the river's over here, and we actually need to make use of these 2 river slots. Now there is 1 mountain slot over here. However, for this first chapter, you don't actually need to use it. You can to get the iron, but we don't have to. So let's go ahead and get, I suppose we need the road first. We're going to get some houses. So we'll build this out like so, and hopefully that's long enough. I'd like to get at least 5 of these here. And we can change again the direction these face, and you also change the way they look. We'll take a look at that a bit later, how you change the visuals. Try and have them all kind of look like they're facing the same direction. I think it'd be kind of weird. They're all facing, you know, if you got like the long building on this side, it's generally not how housing looks. I suppose we'll do 1 more here. And then we're gonna do another line of those. Try and get, if I can, them to face, I might need to do the road first. So we want this out right here. Like so. And we want to construct a lot of these, because this seems to be the main way to get money in this game. Okay, it doesn't want to let me place it anywhere else. That looks fine. And do we want 1 more? Sure, we'll do another one of these. Alright, so it said 10. So we have completed that first task. We'll get a few more of these going here in a little bit. Let's start working on food since we gotta feed our people. So we have two different types of food unlocked. Sardines. Let's stop these guys from talking here. Sardines and porridge. And you see that they have different attributes. The sardines give a +1 to income and a +1 to population, while the porridge gives +2 to population. So it doesn't give that income bonus. Let's go ahead and start with the sardines. And again, we're going to have all production stuff on this side. See how we want to do this. I guess we can start over here. Have them close to the trading post there. We didn't need to get 2 of those just yet, but we did. And we need to connect those. I suppose we'll have another road that goes out this way. You notice you sometimes get the boards here, the wood. Makes it look more like a dock area. So that's kind of cool. So we need to reach 100% food needs. We will get the porridge, which this requires us to get our first farm, an oat farm. And we might build the farms up a bit higher here. We'll have to take out these trees, of course. Yeah, so let's go and start with the road. I don't know what's going to be in this area. It might just be more houses. We don't want to take out those trees, though. So we'll go up to here. And we don't want any of our farms messing with the woods that are the trees that are within this guy's range, of course. Yeah, we'll probably have it right here, I think. So let's go and start with the oat farm. Never mind, let's pause this for a second because we have a resident who wants to talk to us.
It's beyond us.
A Libertas passes you, straining under a heavy load of timber. He carries the hopeful air of one who has recently celebrated his manumission, which is freedom from slavery. Despite his burden, he stops and hails you as his governor. How do you respond to him? So we can straight up seize his goods. These decisions help define your style of governance, generous or cruel, as it states here on this tooltip. If we do this, we'll get 20 wood, or we can buy a supply. It costs 400 and you get that same, or you can wish him well and you'll just get the 10. I mean, I feel like wood's not too difficult for us to get. We're just going to wish him well. We're definitely not going to seize it because you'll see that we're going to get a -50 happiness penalty, so just not worth that. And why would we want to be that type of governor? Maybe that's exactly the type of governor you want to play as. Alright, so let's just pause it for a sec while we build out our oat farm. You know, we'll leave a little bit of room for like some houses or something here. So we want to put, I don't know, like 6 blocks there. So we can place some houses and maybe change the direction of this too, because it's not the front. Now we want it to look like that. Let me make sure we have this in the right place. Though it is really easy to move buildings. These are all your little tools: demolishing, relocating, upgrading buildings. You could just do a copy of one. So, you know, if we just wanted to copy this so we could build a residence, obviously residence has a nice little easy button to get to, but with other buildings that might be a bit more useful. And then the cosmetic tool that I said that we'd take a look at a little bit later. So we're not done here. We need to actually get some oats planted. I think this is interesting. It lets you select the exact layout of your fields. It kind of reminds me of Manor Lords a little bit. Of course, this one is quite different because you actually place each tile worth. Though it is really easy to do. You can just, you know, hold it out like that if you want to. So we need to get 80 tiles worth. So let's try and use some math when we do this here, so it doesn't look weird. So we had to have one long strip, you know, just build all the way out. You know, this is 4 blocks, so, you know, we'd have to build it out 20. So it'd go pretty far out there, kind of look weird. Probably not the best way to do it. Probably should go 8 out. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. So if you went like that, and then all the way back, and then you'd only go 10 paces, but it does leave a little weird area here. So, you know what, let's fill that in. And so now we're at 24. So basically it's going to need to go out by 7, but that'll be really easy to do because it stops you from going any further. Because because you can only have the 80, since again you just need the 100%. So I guess that answers the question here on the wood, if there's any reason to go above that, because you're getting 100% reduction. So that's what our field looks like, and we'll do that with all of our farms. So we now have the oats, but we're not actually making the porridge yet, or not selling it, I should say. We need a porridge stand. We could put that here. Yeah, I suppose we'll place that here, and then again we'll just get like a house right there or something. There's also a lot of decorations, ornaments that you can place around. This is just a tutorial. We won't need to read that. So we're just trying to satisfy the food need. We could of course fast forward it to get there a little bit quicker. We are currently losing money as well, so one thing we could do to solve that issue is go ahead and get more houses. Of course, doing that before we satisfy this, that might cause some issues, so we'll just wait. Just go ahead and fast forward it. Get to completion of this, and we also have a request.
Your people are fed, Ere. Your accounting experience is serving you better than perhaps expected.
Oh, that. Grain districts by the Nile are small beans next to running a city.
Or running entire provinces. And yet, the Emperor has seen fit to invite you for dinner.
Me? Dine with the Emperor?
The pleasure barge will come for you shortly. Unless you'd refuse the invitation?
No. Perhaps I should bring something for the table?
So we could take the sardines, or just take ourselves, and that's because we don't have any of the porridge yet, so we don't really have much of a choice. Really got to take something, right? So yeah, we'll take these. They are smelly, and they'll make a comment of that as well, because again, the choices you make do affect the story to a limited degree. So we need to await the Imperial Barge, and we need to attract more residents. Since we have satisfied that need for food, let's get some more houses constructed. And I'll show you guys how it works with the cosmetics as well. Since we can kind of change the look of them after we place them. And we'll probably have to get rid of some more of these trees here. And I want to make sure that the road is going out to this house. I think it's probably good. It's hard to see here. We can also rotate the camera to see a little bit better. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, so get a few more residents there. Might build one here as well. We want to keep our residents kind of in the same area, since there's a bunch of buildings that will give bonuses to them, and also to satisfy certain needs.
I suppose public buildings include things like markets and tavernas.
Alright, so now we need to construct a market and a tavern. We've unlocked some new options here. And so these are the buildings that we want to have close to our residences, because they will need access to these. So the market will increase the income of any buildings within range, as well as the population. And the tavern will increase the population and the happiness. So you definitely want both of these bonuses for our residents here. So you can see if we built it here, this house would not get the bonus, and as we move it up, less houses will. However, it does travel down the road, so if we were to build this out like so, and then I guess we don't need to have a road going down this way. What we'll do is have it go this way. And we put one more house right there, as well as one right here. And then we were to take a look at that, and you can see it now would reach this house because we connected them. But we couldn't build it any further out than that and still have it connected. If we built a road right here, maybe, but yeah, I think the way our roads look is fine. We want to get as many houses as we can here. Put too many roads, and then that will be an issue. So I'll place this right here. Then let me take a look and see if that's the direction we want it facing, because we want it to look good. I feel like I like it this way. So we're going to place it like so. And now we'll need to get the tavern. I wonder if we could build it over on this side and still get the bonus. No, we'd have to put it on this side, which is fine. because it would reach all the houses, and that's what we want to reach when it comes to the tavern. That's why I felt like it was more important to have the tavern here, since this boosts the money, which will affect your workplaces. I think this is probably the best direction. I'm gonna take a look at other options. I mean, this one's not too bad either. You know what? This kind of looks good too, having it towards the back there. Yeah, we'll do it that way. And then we're going to want to get some more residents. And then we'll also want to satisfy these other needs here. They need clothes. Can't have our people running around naked. So the tunics, that'll increase income. While the hats here, the pileas,
without me, my citizens would have...
if I'm pronouncing that correctly, that increases the income and the happiness. So I want to satisfy those, but first, let me get some more of these residents here, guys. And also, I said I'd look at the cosmetics, so we'll do that too, but let's build all these out first. Takes a little bit of time to get the residents in. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, so this is just another tutorial. But let's take a look at this corner house here. Say we want to change up the cosmetics. So what you saw there was the resident talking to us. They do talk to you, like they might talk about the food that they're eating or the situation in your settlements. So we only have access to the classic skin here. However, you can change the appearance. Of course, you can rotate it as well. So we have 7 different options for this particular residence. Because, you know, they will level up. I kind of like that one, honestly. It looks good for a corner one. So I think that's the one we're going to go with. Alright, beautiful. Yeah, you could do that with all your houses if you wanted. Alright, so we need to get some clothes for our people. And we should probably keep this paused because we are currently losing money at the moment. So we need to get a hemp farm and a spinner. Now with the hemp farm, it's much like the oats farm. We don't need as much hemp, I don't think. So I believe we can probably put it out like this, and it might look kind of similar, and we can always build off to the side if we need to. Maybe we'll do... Nah, we'll do it this way. We'll put it right here. And then let's get our hemp, see how much we can get here. And then probably build out... Again, we want this to look good without any weird situations. Yeah, that worked out well. Alright, excellent. So there's our hemp field. And now we need to get a spinner, but we're not going to place it right here since that would cut off some of the wood there, which, let me see if I've already done that. Nope, we're still looking good. Alright, excellent. So we'll have to put the spinner probably right across from it. I think that makes sense. Yeah, we'll put it right here. I like the way it looks as well. Alright, when it comes to our hats, we need a sheep farm. And we'll probably just place this right here because we got a little bit of space. Though, let me place this house because I knew I wanted to get one here. This is kind of like the farmer's house or something, I guess. You'd want to live close to home. Maybe he's the one who owns the sheep. Alright, so we're going to get the sheep farm. God, I don't remember what the size is. I'm hoping it fits back here. I guess we'll find out. Yep, it does. Alright, excellent. So you have to get 3 of these so it fits perfectly if we do it like this. Alright, excellent. So you see that it looks strange here. That's because we're missing the materials. And so they'll need to get the wood. We now have the timber to get this constructed. So we can get our sheep out here. You see we got some sheep grazing. Alright, so while we're waiting to achieve this objective of getting the fashion needs of our residents taken care of, we can go ahead and do the dinner with the Emperor. We got him just waiting out here on his barge. So yeah, let's go ahead and board the Imperial barge and start this story quest.
What is that smell? Marcus, it's you.
Oh, that'll be the sardines. I thought... Well, I don't know what I thought.
Ah, that's quite all right, dear. We'll send them to the kitchen. Do sit down. How are you, Marcus? I hope looking after a great city isn't wearing you out.
It's not yet that much of a city, your empress.
Ah, but one day Juliana's monuments will be a marvel to behold. The glory of an empress.
I'll do my best.
And you'll have time. Patience is my watchword.
Julia will succeed me as Rome's first empress regnant. It is decided.
I fear the Senate may still press you to adopt, my love. Any one of their number, any man, even Calidus.
Low-born Calidus? Never. To Pluto with them. More wine, Governor?
Why, thank you, Marcus. Latium is a lovely place. Far away from all the intrigue. If only the Legatus Calidus would desist in sending us his demands. This place would feel like the holiday paradise it once was.
Tcha! That arrogant little camp follower. He will never be emperor. Never. Good old Decimus. Ha! Had a bite to him like the Crocs. The Delta was the place to be back then.
You knew each other before?
Oh, yes. Yes. Who do you think put him in charge of Egyptus?
The ruins are the remains of old Ambrosia. Never a place more alive. Temples, spas, ocelli swaying in the breeze.
Ah, what I would give to sit in the shadow of the lime trees again, admiring the frescoes at your father's house.
What happened to it? I mean, the city.
Old Augustus erupted and swallowed it up in ash. Then some old crow starts talking about a curse and everyone believes it. But they'll be back. Juliana's consecrated ground now. Yeah, Ben Balian. What about him?
Well, I just thought... He seems to know a lot. More than any slave I've met.
He's useful enough. But you had best not be giving him any notions. Slaves need a firm hand. Clammed up, lad. We've got a little surprise for you.
Oh, good. You remembered.
I've decided it is past time you had your very own ship. What do you say, Marius? When I see the ruins on your island, I recall the streets I wandered in my youth.
Ambrosia. The city that was lost.
We advance!
Alright, so we have our first ship. And we can use this for trade. These guys are very talkative over here. We can carry up to 2 supplies here. It's called the Lousy Slave. I feel like we've got to come up with a better name than that. I suppose because it's blue, which I think is our fashion color, we'll name it Primo Azure. I think it's more correct to do Primum Azure, but we're going to do Primo because I like the sound of it better. Alright, so that's going to be the name of our first ship here. Alright, so there's no trade that we can do here. There's a few other locations that we can trade, but not on that island, not with the Emperor. So we need to go back to our home here. And we'll just head over here on its own and uncover the fog here. A lot of details that you'll see in the water.
I've got my own ship. Still, I mean, I am a governor.
I believe that's something that you'll find in all these games, is that they're always on islands. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's a major part of the Anno games, as they take place on islands. So not exactly historically accurate for Rome. Of course, they did have a lot of islands in the Mediterranean that they controlled in their empire. But the capital of Roma certainly was not an island, where the emperor was living. Though some emperors did live on islands in the Mediterranean to stay away from, we got some orcas there, killer whales. Just get away from the court, the Senate, all the politics. But you'll see we do have some weapons on board here. So we've got the ship archers and a scorpion, which we'll see those located. The archers are up there on that tower. However, in this tutorial section, there is not any combat. So I learned that playing through it, because basically that's what this is. This is a tutorial. But yeah, I constructed walls all around here, so I had like walls, you know, protecting this whole area on the beach. We do have a little event here. We'll take a look in a minute. But yeah, I had some walls that went all through here, kind of just ensuring that nobody attacked me. And it ended up not even being an issue since there's no combat here in the tutorial. So what I'm doing here is I'm upgrading the residence. That unlocks a bunch of new options. So we're going to want to pause this, because we want to upgrade as many of those as we can. Moving to part 2 here, Julia's birthday, since we attracted our first plebeian. But yeah, we definitely want to get a few more of these upgraded. You can see that we're not using a lot of that workforce. Again, these guys are super talkative here. Don't want to talk over them or have them talking over me. Oh, okay, we're out of wood, so you do need 1 timber in order to upgrade each one of those. So they do have a cost. We see the different look of the plebeian houses. And in order to upgrade those, which, you know, we haven't any issues here because we are satisfying all the needs, but there are needs that you have to satisfy. So we have to have the food, which you can get through the sardines or the porridge there. And then you got to have the public services. You got the market and the tavern, which, you know, of course, we've got that taken care of. And then there's the fashion needs, which we don't actually have the hats here, but they're getting enough of the tunics to satisfy that need. So you don't have to have, like, everything in order to satisfy the needs and get them upgraded. So you can focus on, like, you know, one specific area here. So here in the construction, we did get access to our governor villa. So we want to get that constructed. It's kind of expensive when it comes to maintenance, and, you know, we're still losing money, so we're not going to want to get that just yet. It's just going to give us some prestige, and it also will later give us access to the specialist. But yeah, it's very expensive when it comes to both the timber and something we don't actually have yet, tiles. We need to get those. So no point on constructing that or that office here. Probably won't get that in this tutorial. What we do want to unlock is the plebeian buildings. So we'll now be able to bake bread. This gives the income and the population. You notice these bonuses are much better than the other buildings that we had access to. And then the garum here, income and happiness. But before we take a look at that, let's do this event that's been up here for a little while.
It was huge. Here one moment, a big, bustling, thriving thing, and gone the next.
Actually, Are, the eruption lasted several days, and in the weeks that followed, the air was fraught with dust as far west as the Pillars of Hercules. It is often said that hubris, the dissolute and vulgar practices of Ambrosia and its inhabitants, incurred the wrath of the gods. But I think Vulcan, whose spirit resides inside both Occasus and other portals to the underworld, has little control over what and why he issues forth.
So I do want to take a look at the cosmetics before I forget. You know, look at the ornaments here. You know, beautify our city just a little bit. I want to make sure I showed you guys some of the options that are available at the start, which there is a tech tree. We should be able to see that in the next episode. We won't get to that in this one. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we're going to unlock through the tech tree. You know, different buildings and bonuses for the buildings that you have access to. Yeah, we got trees and bushes and stuff. We have some statues. And we'll probably get one of those arches, maybe right here in the entrance. And these are kind of cool because you can, like, stretch them out. Real easy to do. Honestly, building is surprisingly easy in this game. Just kind of show you how this looks when you stretch them out. So if I do like a poor job of city management and we get some weird open spaces, there's nothing we can fit in there, then maybe we'll get something constructed there. Plus it's like important for your your city's prestige, which hasn't popped up here just yet. But yeah, let's go ahead and place this arch right here in the walkway. And maybe we'll get something going across here. We could even do like the wall or something. Even though we don't need the wall, this is not really like the same as the military wall. This is more like a cosmetic wall. So if we just wanted to put it here for looks, we could. And it fits well with the arch, but we're not going to do all that just yet. We don't want to spend the money on it. I just wanted to make sure I showed that here in the first episode. Alright, let's go and start working on the bread. So we need to get a wheat farm. Now these are really large. I don't think we're going to have the space. Yeah, we'll have the space here, but we could build it out this way. And we do have to keep in mind we have all this extra space here. Maybe we might want to put like in the middle here. Well, actually, we need to get the tiles taken care of first. So let's go ahead and do that, because a lot of these buildings that we're going to get are going to require the tiles. So we need to get a clay pit, and this is one of the things that we use the river slot. So we're going to want to place this one right here, and we'll put our mill up here. Since I imagine the clay pit would make the water look pretty gross. And so you wouldn't want that up at the top of the river. We want it downriver. So we'll put the clay pit here. Not that it really matters, I think, in the game, but we're going to pretend like it does. So we're going to place that there, and then we'll want to place the tiler here, probably with a warehouse as well. But we need to get a road going out there. So let's go ahead and do that. Remember, we don't want to take out any of these trees. So we're going to go out like this way. Maybe even try and see if we can't round it a bit. Just because I like a little bit of a rounded look. Now, it does make it hard to build around it. Like if you want to take advantage of these roads here. And we're just going to go around the trees. Just I like having a little bit of nature there. And then yeah, we'll just kind of round it out like so. Well, maybe not quite like that. That's kind of a weird looking road. And eventually it'll come out this way. And then we should have some space here if we need to get rid of some of these trees. Again, I did consider, I guess we could do that now, take a look at it. You know, if we wanted to get access to, you know, another woodcutter here. I want to see if I could get another 100% efficiency. I've gotten close. There's a location that has like 72 around here, and that gets you up to 90% efficiency. But it also takes from theirs. So I don't think we're going to be able to place another one here, unfortunately. And thus, the rest of these trees here are kind of useless, so it doesn't really matter if we take them out, as long as we don't affect the efficiency there. There is this location over here, and of course we have all the trees over there as well, so I'm not too concerned about it. But we could have placed this in a better location, so we could be a little bit more efficient. But yeah, that's fine. Let's go ahead and get the tiller, and since we don't care about the trees here, we'll probably just place it like right across. Now, we are lacking the timber. Yeah, we're still good on this, right? Yeah. So we'll have to wait before we're able to actually construct that so that we can get the tiles going. But just show you guys what our options are going to be here once we have tiles. So we looked at the wheat farm. There's also the grain mill, and then there's the bakery. So that's going to turn it into flour. That's going to be constructed over here. And then we'll get the bakery to turn it into bread. And we will also need to get a charcoal burner, which maybe that's what we'll use the wood up here for. Because you'll notice that there are penalties to some of these buildings. Like, I don't think either of these ones had it. Well, this one actually has a fire safety one, -2. And we'll put it right in the woods. That's smart. I think it only affects the buildings, of course. Well, there's something to counteract that, so I'm not too worried about. But yeah, you saw some of these other ones had some other things to consider. So with the bakery, it'll increase income, but also decrease the fire safety. And the charcoal burner will decrease the health. So we don't want this in any area that will affect our residents, which is the reason why we're replacing everything over here. Because there's a lot of the work buildings that have penalties like that. Now you notice it says it has no warehouse in range. I was planning on constructing a warehouse out here. So we need to get that going. We'll go ahead and extend this road out a little bit. It's going to be a lot of wasted space over here. Maybe we'll put some statues or something. I don't know. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get a warehouse in this area. We're going to place it right here. It doesn't have to be close to those because remember we're going to have some stuff over in this area too. So we'll just place it. See where we can put it. We can put it right there. And again, we have some dead space right there that we'll make use of. Make something nice there. So we want those warehouses to be close. Now, what's interesting about the warehouses is that they all share an inventory. So like something could be put into this warehouse here, and say you got another warehouse over here, it can be pulled out from that warehouse. So they don't actually have to get it from this one. So it's not exactly, you know, realistic, but honestly a little bit easier to use when it comes to, you know, a game. Then the other things we can get here, again, they all do require the tiles, so we're going to have to get a little inventory of tiles before we really start working on these. But yeah, we'll want to put these shacks out here. And also the salt pond would go out here. And we don't have enough space for these, huh? Could always get rid of one of these, I guess. I don't know that we need these many sardines. But it is good to have a lot of food. Well, this is one you really don't want next to your residences because that decreases the happiness by 2. So again, another thing that we're going to want out here. So we'll put these out here once we're able to, once we have the tiles. But we got to get the tiler first. We need to start producing those. So they want us to produce 5 tiles. That's our objective here. So we'll get those 5 tiles produced. I don't know if those need to be stockpiled or if it's just going to count them as we make them. But one of the things that you might have noticed here, watching the cutscenes, is that this game is not exactly historical, like who the emperor is and who his wife is. It's not historical. So that's the way these games are. Again, from my understanding, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. If you are you know, Anno fan, you've played many of these games. But I think they try and represent the historical economy and the social aspects of that time period. But they want to tell their own story. And of course you have the situation of them being on islands as well, which generally isn't historical. So yeah, they have characters that are not historical characters. You know, the game is called Anno 117, so I imagine that means it's taking place in the year 117, which makes sense to pick that year, because I believe that was the year that was when the Roman Empire reached its largest extent. And the emperor at that time was Trajan, not... God, what's the emperor in this game? Lucius is his name. Now, there was an emperor Lucius Verus. However, he did not rule in 117. What do they need in here? Oh, they don't have the charcoal. Yeah, we need to get that. So we're going to place that over here. We're going to pause that and get it taken care of. You know what? I think I'm going to place this too, even though we can't yet construct it, which is not letting me do it today, probably because, again, we don't have what we need for it. So let's go ahead and get it through here, because it should allow me to do it through here. So get that place so I know where to build the road out. And then we'll probably just place it on the other side of the road. And then just have this connect, hopefully in a way that doesn't look terrible. Whatever. We try and make our roads interesting here, you know. You don't just walk in a straight line. Give you a little bit more entertainment. And then we'll want to place our charcoal burner. So we'll place it right here. Alright, excellent. So we got that constructed so that we can have some charcoal this location. And we have a shortage of plebs. You see that -2 up there, so we need to get these upgraded. But again, our problem is the lack of timber. So maybe we want to do something about that. So we're going to place that right out here so it doesn't affect that charcoal burner. And then we just need to get the road going to it. And I suppose it's good having this road here, like if you wanted to take advantage of the mountain slot once you got access to the iron mine. So yeah, I won't be able to get that grain mill until we get our first tiles produced, and they should now be working once they get that charcoal input. So we can see that's being produced up there now. Yeah, there was a Emperor Lucius Verus. He was a co-emperor with Marcus Aurelius. So I think he ruled 160 something, 167, 169, somewhere around there. And therefore, it wasn't 117. And also he had his wife was named something else. It wasn't Julia. And so these are not historical characters and not historical events. They're trying to tell their own story here. Let's go ahead and fast forward this as we're trying to produce these tiles, because everything we need to build right now requires the tiles. And then also we need more plebs for those buildings we're constructing. So let's get these plebs upgraded. We're gonna need a lot of these. I think you need like 200 before you can complete the tutorial. And that's not plus 200. You can just kind of hover over this here, and you can see we have 55 right now. So we're about a quarter of the way there. You can also use the upgrade button. That's probably a more efficient way to do this, honestly. So yeah, we can just use that. Let's upgrade the farmers. So we'll get them upgraded. We're out of timber here. We did produce our first tile. All right, excellent. How many do we need over here to get this done? We need 2, but we also need the timber. Which, you know, we're now producing more of the wood here, but we didn't get somebody chopping that. Or excuse me, we didn't do a sawmill. Let's do... I feel like these guys are pretty far from that. So, you know what, let's just place this over here. And plus there's all these fire hazards over there. I do want a road going out that way. What is this? This is just tutorial. So eventually want a road going out here. So let's just place this one right here.
I have wonderful memories of tranquil sanctuaries, the scholarly haunts of Ambrosia. If
Got
you're
Julia
not too busy,
talking to us here.
You need a villa, Harry?
Yep, I know we need a villa. But again, we're not going to do that just yet, because our balance is terrible. Frankly, we need to get more residences. We can now upgrade this, so let's go ahead and do that. And yeah, let's go and construct some more houses, and we'll build them on this side, since we know we don't need to have this on fast forward here. Since we know they're going to get the bonuses being next to the market, so I'll build them out this way. Although
Old man was stubborn as a mule.
we should probably have a road going out here. Yeah, that'd be wise. So let's go ahead and relocate this one. Let's move it right there so the road can go out this way. And then we'll probably want to connect it to this road as well, if I can figure out how to move the damn camera. Alright, so let's move our roads up that way. And we can also build some more over here, though I almost want to build something nice in this area. So could do that and just continue building our houses out here. Since we do have, I'm not even concerned which way these are facing. Since we do have the available timber. And we also have the tiles. They want us to get this stuff here constructed, the villa. We'll place that here in a little bit. Let's first finish up with the stuff we need for the bread. So we need to get the wheat farm constructed. I assume we'll just do that here with the rest of our farms. We already got the grain mill, but we do need to get a bakery. Probably just place that over here since it does have the fire safety problem. You could also make the argument to put the bakery over here where it's a little bit more dense and you're going to get more bonuses, even if it does cause the problems with the fire safety. I don't know. Might want to put it over there. Let me know in the comments where you think we should put the bakery. And then we'll also want to start getting all the stuff here taken care of. So we'll be working on that in the next episode, because unfortunately we have run out of time in this one. So yeah, we'll get our villa place. I think we're gonna have it up here. Though we're gonna have to make the cattle and the horses move out of the way. Maybe we'll place it over here so they can continue to graze in that area. Yeah, I wanted it where what essentially would be the middle of our settlement if we were to extend all the way over here, which the tutorial will probably not allow us to get that far out. This would be the main area of our settlement, but if we were to continue playing on this island, because eventually the tutorial moves you to a new location. But if we were to continue building all the way out to here, then I feel like this is a good place to have your villa by the beautiful river. Again, very attractive game here. You know, for a strategy game, of course. So yeah, we'll work on all these next episode, get the villa, and then maybe work on just making our settlement a little bit more beautiful, getting some ornaments out there. But I hope you guys did enjoy this first video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. If you're looking for anything to watch, check out the front page of our channel. Got thousands of videos all sorted by genre, so you should be able to find something that you'd enjoy. If you're looking for any links, check out the description of any of our videos. You'll find links to our PayPal, Patreon, and Teespring store if you'd like to help support our channel. You'll also find a link to all of our social media and our Discord if you'd like to contact us on those. So very nice buildings here. Architecture. Kind of give you a view of how you might be able to eventually make your settlements look. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this first look at Anno 117. We'll be coming back for episode 2, and I do hope to see you there, and thanks for watching.